In a previous video, we took an in-depth look at the Ender 3 V3 Core X Z printer. I was very impressed with the sample unit provided by Creality, so much so that I purchased 4 more of these printers for my print farm. I've been running them very frequently since that video, and I've had some great prints come off of these printers. However, it was only a matter of time before something went wrong, and I've had 2 situations now where I've had to partially or completely disassemble the print head on this machine. And so I'm going to take you through that disassembly process and the ways in which I've had to personally unclog or unjam the extruder or hot end, and other ways that I've seen it fail for people online. And so generally, the first step that I take here is to heat up the hot end, and I like to go about 20, 25, or 30 degrees hotter than the processing temperature of the material. So if I'm printing PLA at 220, I'll heat up the hot end to about 245 or 250. Then I'll unlock the extruder and I'll pull up on the PTFE tube, and we'll see here if we can pull out the filament. Now, I already know that this filament is broken, but normally what I would do is push down on it to melt some more and then try and pull up, and hopefully the clog comes out with the rest of the filament. And you can tell that the filament in my case was broken because the end of it was not at all melted. There's still a piece stuck somewhere in the extruder or the hot end. So we're going to remove the cover next, and on the left hand side of the cover there's a small M3 screw at the bottom that we can remove. Then we can move the print head over, and on the right hand side you'll find another screw at the bottom of the cover. This is also an M3 screw, and these screws are pretty short and small, so try not to lose them because we're definitely going to need them later when we put the cover back on. To remove the front cover, grab it with both hands and try and push up, and that's going to release it from the 2 pegs at the top of the print head. And you can pull it away, but don't pull it away too quick because you will have to remove the connector for the fan. Now, before removing this connector, I like to turn the printer off so there's no power, and then you can just simply pull away at that connector gently. Now I'd like to remove the extruder to inspect it and make sure there's no pieces of broken filament stuck inside, but in order to get to that, we need to remove this back cover. So I'll begin by first removing the strain relief bracket at the back, and it just pops off. And now the back cover, you can see, is held on by a few more M3 screws on the side. So on the right hand side, there's the 1 screw at the top. And then when we go to the left hand side, you'll find another screw in the same position on the opposite side here. Just like with the front cover, these are very small and short screws, so be sure not to lose them. Now when we look at the print head from the back, at the top of the rear cover, there are 2 more screws recessed into the plastic. So to remove those, and these are different size screws than the ones at the bottom, so you can organize those accordingly, because again, when you go to put this back together, you do not want to mix those up. And you can lift up on that rear cover, and you'll probably still have the wire harness partially attached, and it should come loose from the connector at the back PCB. The extruder module is held in place with 3 screws. On the left hand side, you'll find 1 of those M3 button head cap screws, and on the right hand side you'll find 2 of them. Remove these 3 screws and set them aside, and then you can pull straight up on the extruder and it will come out of the print head. It'll still be attached to the rear PCB with a single electrical connector, and so you can just pull up on that connector to remove the entire module. If you don't want to remove it and completely take it apart, you can leave it connected and use the nozzle clearing tool to push it through the extruder to test if there's a clog inside of the extruder. If you can't pass that tool through, then perhaps it would be a good idea to try taking this thing apart. And there are 2 M3 socket head cap screws at the front of the extruder module, and if you remove those, you can remove the motor from the back. Be careful handling the extruder at this point. You'll want to squeeze all the parts together to keep them from just falling apart and perhaps losing some of the gears and smaller components inside. Carefully remove the front cover of the extruder, and you can see in here we've got all of the gears now exposed, and you can do a very close inspection to make sure there are no small pieces of filament stuck inside of those gears. In this particular case, things are looking pretty good for me, so I don't have a jam there. But in a previous video, when we looked at a similar extruder, now this is an older version from the original K1, you can see at some point I did have an issue where I had a small piece of filament stuck in those gears and it was preventing them from turning. Since this older video of the original K1 extruder, there have been some updates made to this latest generation of Creality extruders, but it's still worth taking a look and perhaps using something like a small hobby knife as a tool to clear out the teeth of any debris that could get stuck in there. This doesn't seem to be as big of a problem with this latest revision of these extruders than it did with that first generation, but if you've got it all apart, you might as well take a look. When putting it back together, be sure not to lose that idler bearing inside the front cover. Mine seems to be pressed in there, but it could fall out. Since my extruder wasn't jammed, the next place I'm going to look is in the hot end. If I look straight down into the top of the print head, I can see a piece of filament that's going through the throat and it's still stuck in there. At this point, I'll turn the machine back on and take another shot at pushing or pulling that filament back out. So I'll reheat the nozzle, and from here I can see that I can grab the tiniest bit of the filament poking out from the top of that throat, and here you'll see that I'll pull it straight out. You could also try and push a little and then pull to see if that loosens up the filament, and if there's not enough sticking out where you can get those needle nose pliers on it to pull, again you can use the nozzle clearing tool here and push through the throat to see if anything will come out the bottom. If at this point there's still something stuck in the hot end that you can't get out, perhaps you'll want to either remove the nozzle or the hot end completely. I'll show you the nozzle removal later in this video, but for now, we'll just remove the entire hot end assembly itself. So you'll see that there's a set of wires and two connectors for the thermistor and the heating element, and there are two socket head cap screws at the front that we're going to need to remove to get this entire hot end off. Before removing these connectors, you'll want to power the printer down and let the nozzle and hot end cool down to the point where you can safely touch it. And then you can just use your hex tool here to remove the two M3 screws at the front holding the entire hot end assembly on. Removing the whole assembly may be preferable because it's easier to service on your workbench rather than doing it while it's still attached to the print head, where you could potentially bend or break something else if you're trying to apply too much force. Now hopefully you can better diagnose what still might be stuck in there and free it up, and if not, in the worst case, you can replace that entire assembly. Of course, installation of all these parts would be reverse of the disassembly that we just performed. So all of that was pretty easy, but in some cases we are presented with this kind of catastrophic failure. This is a real pain to deal with, and I had so much plastic stuck to the front cover that in the process of trying to get the front cover off, I actually ripped off most of the electrical connectors because everything was just encased in one giant blob of plastic. To even get to this point here, I was using a heat gun to work some of the plastic out, and you'll see that I was able to get the plastic off of the nozzle and also remove the silicone boot. On the right hand side of the hot end, there is a recessed hole where you'll find a set screw that you can loosen off. Then you can use a 12mm wrench and the included nozzle wrench to loosen the nozzle and pull it out. I did have to heat up this area a little more with the heat gun in order to get the nozzle loose, and because this whole thing is a bit of a write-off for me, I wasn't very gentle in pulling it out. But even if your whole hot end isn't encased in plastic, it's the same process in removing that nozzle. I was also able to work away the plastic from those two M3 screws at the front of the hot end, so I was able to access those and pull out the rest of the hot end, which is going in the garbage in my case. And with that out of the way, we can now inspect the hot end heatsink fan. And curiously, mine here has a button head cap screw at the top with a hex drive, and there's one with a Phillips drive at the bottom. Not sure if yours will be the same, but that's what I had to deal with to remove that fan. There's plastic stuck inside, and it's cooked. As I mentioned a moment ago, I also damaged this PCB, so it needs to come off. There's a connector on the left-hand side with the ribbon cable. Just simply pull that out, and there are 3 more M3 button head cap screws holding that PCB on. I will of course be replacing all of these damaged parts and installing everything in the reverse order. Now this video was pretty quick and to the point, but hopefully it gives you some sense of the main components located inside of your print head and how to access them and service them. And I hope it gets you back up and running rather quickly. But before I sign off, I do want to include an older clip from my original K1 extruder video showing my process of unloading the filament. And this is a clip from the K1, but it's very much the same on the Ender 3 V3. And that's because the print head design is very similar. So when you go through this retraction process, the printer will normally extrude a little bit of material and then pull up on the filament. And even though the latest extruders have been through a few redesigns since this original K1 video, I do suspect that some extruder clogs can still be prevented by using this method here, where before you go to remove the filament, you unlock the extruder. And this is the first thing you do. before you pull up on the PTFE tube. Now the original K1 had this call it and locking clip where the newer machines you just press down and pull up on the PTFE tube, but regardless, you always want to unlock the extruder first, because if you pull up on the PTFE tube and the filament before unlocking the extruder, I think there's still a chance that it can pinch down on this small blob of filament that's left over from the retraction process. I think there's still a chance that it could get stuck in the extruder gears if it gets pinched off, or perhaps even fall back into or between the extruder and the throat of the hot end. This could help prevent future clogs and jams, or perhaps the latest versions of the extruders aren't susceptible to this anymore. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. But either way, it's a habit that I've now carried over from the original K1 series, and it's generally been working for me on this latest generation of Creality printers. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys found it useful, and I hope you guys decide to check out some of my other videos and perhaps even subscribe. And if you want to go the extra mile to support me and my channel, go check out my website, embracemaking.com. Thanks for watching.